everybody, welcome back to my channel. So welcome to part 2 of my list of ultimate K-beauty cult icons. I have a whole bunch of products to talk to you today, and I have to say some of these products are my favorite products ever. So if you're interested in K-beauty, if you're interested in cult products, or if you're interested in skincare or Korea in general, this is the video for you. Carry on watching. So the next product I'm going to talk about is a product that I'm running out of again. The good thing is that at least you're seeing that I actually do use these products on a regular basis and I run through the bottles really quickly. This isn't me coming up with products that I think people probably use or like maybe use or I've heard they use. These are products that I use on a regular basis all the time and I really love, which is very representative of how they're seen on the wider community in general. So the product I'm going to talk about now is from Causerx. It's their Advanced Snail 96 Museon Power Essence. Now this retails for approximately $17, so again, you're not talking about a lot of money for this product. And the interesting thing about this product is that, as the title suggests, it does contain 96% snail mucin. And that's actually a very high percentage compared to other products that contain snail mucin. Now the reason that we love using snail mucin, I know that it's a very kind of Korean thing to be using snail mucin. You don't see it regularly in Western products, but the reason why we love it is because it helps with a myriad of issues. It's very good for treating blemishes. It's super hydrating, and also over time it reduces fine lines and wrinkles. So it's kind of a solution to lots and lots of problems. Yeah, it really is an incredible product. Like pretty much the only thing that it won't cure is your like crippling social anxiety. Believe me, I've tried a lot. It naturally contains hyaluronic acid, which we love. It's a humectant, which means that it's pulling water from outside into the skin. It also naturally contains glycolic acid, which is a mild exfoliator, so increasing cell turnover, reducing hyperpigmentation, scarring, all of those great things that we love to see. A reason why I have a particular soft spot for this particular product is because I've used it a lot on my eczema, and it has helped reduce my eczema so much. I've actually done an entire video on how I cured my eczema. Well, not cured, but I helped reduce my eczema, and I will link it here somewhere here. But this was one of the products that I used that reduced it massively, and that's partly because it is anti-inflammatory. One thing that I think people are a little bit nervous about when they hear that snail mucin is included in as an ingredient is that are snails harmed in the process of making this essence? And actually the answer is no. It's something that I was really worried about, but the answer is actually no. So what the snails do is they kind of hang out on this mesh thing all day, and then they're taken off at night to go to bed. The slime then kind of hangs out on this mesh and then they collect it from the mesh. Okay, so as you can see, science is not my first language. I sound like a toddler. But interestingly, if the snails are feeling stressed, then they don't produce as much mucin. So it is in the interests of these companies to make sure that the snails are as comfortable as possible. Now, I'm not vegan myself, but I do take a lot of care to make sure that the products I use are cruelty-free or are having as less of an impact on the ecosystem as I can possibly manage. So that was something that I thought about when continuing to use this product. There are a lot of snail products on the market, but this one has really stood the test of time because it's so effective, and also because it's such a great price point for such an effective product. So that's why I've included it in this cult favorite classic. Did you literally just have a stroke? I'm sorry, that was a very weird way of saying that sentence. Love this essence. Everybody uses it. It's fantastic. Another product that I'm going to include on this list, because I am 99.9% certain you will see this in the bathroom of every single woman who lives in South Korea. That's an exaggeration. And that is a product by the company Nisha, and it is their Time Revolution, the First Treatment Essence. I love this essence so much. It's a very light texture. It kind of feels almost like water. And it is an essence, so you pop it on right after your toner. I find that this essence absorbs so nicely into my skin and helps make sure that all of the steps that I'm doing later can work the best that they possibly can. So I'm effectively getting the most out of my skincare routine by using this particular product. So I really love this toner because it's super effective. It's very good at hydrating my skin, and it's kind of the pinnacle of exactly what an essence should be. It should be the conduit through which your skincare routine achieves the most that it possibly can. A lot of people actually say that this is a dupe for the SK2 Essence, and I've used both, and I would say that it is a very close match in terms of both consistency and hydration and everything really that the two Essence claim to do. This one does it just as well as the SK2 version. And at like a quarter of the price, this retails for approximately $22. So of course you can kind of splurge on the SK2 Essence if that's what you want to do, if you're living that lifestyle. I get asked a lot about what the big differences are between Korean skincare routines and Western skincare routines, and essences are something that kind of you don't really see in Western routines. In Western brands, they don't produce an essence if they're going to come out with an entire skincare range. This is a product that's often left off the list. And if you're interested in becoming more into the Korean skincare world and you want to pick up an essence, this is a fantastic product to try out with. Now, next on my list of K-beauty cult favorites is a serum. Now, serums are difficult to obtain like cult status because they're very much solutions for particular problems. So there's not one serum that's going to work for every single person and treat all of those different people's different issues. But this is a product that most people that I know have purchased and use regularly. And I think it's partly because not only does it work really well, but it solves a problem that nearly everyone is trying to fix. And it does it the best. And this product is the Vitamin C Freshly Juiced Vitamin Drop from Claire's. So this is a serum that I think most people have in their bathrooms. They might not use it all the time. They might use other serums depending on what issues they're facing at that particular point in time. But they all most people have this somewhere. So the big selling point, of course, for this particular serum is that it is a vitamin C serum. Now, vitamin C is, of course, an ingredient that we know helps hugely when fading hyperpigmentation. It also brightens and evens your skin tone, and it helps work towards a kind of more youthful appearance. Which is, of course, why we do all of this, to make ourselves look 14 again. Now, I really love this serum because I've used a lot of vitamin C serums and products in the past, and they tend to kind of destabilize pretty quickly. And by that, I mean that they tend to kind of go bad quite quickly. They'll become like a different color, like an orangey color sometimes. And when that happens, obviously you can't use it anymore. So that's not great if you've bought a really expensive product and it kind of goes bad and you're like, ah, great, I had like half a jar of that, or had like half a bottle of that left. But this one is very kind of sturdy, I would say. You can keep it around for a fair amount of time before it starts going not great. But just a caution here, like as much as I am a huge fan of getting your money's worth from products, like don't keep products around longer than their use by date, because that can actually be super dangerous for your skin. You're going to find it usually next to the ingredients on a product. It will have like 20 months, 6 months, something like that, 12 months, and that's how long you can use that. That's the use by date of the product. It's also a particularly non-irritant and non-harsh version of a vitamin C serum. Sometimes they can cause a little bit of irritation with me, but this one I've been pretty safe with so far. It retails for about $21 to $23 depending on the website, obviously. And I kind of get through mine about like maybe a month and a half. The bottle will last me. A really key thing to say though is that I don't use this every single day, and I certainly don't use it twice a day. I'll maybe use this kind of in the evening time on a day that I haven't exfoliated. And I also have a lot of other skin issues going on, so I use a kind of rota of serums to help me deal with those particular issues. So that's another reason why I don't use this every day. But just like the other products I've mentioned, I would say that this really is a cult favorite because it's super effective, and it's one of those products that you know you can rely on. It's a good price, it's something that's gonna last, and it's really stood the test of time in this industry. And how many times am I gonna say stood the test of time? So if you're looking for like a really nice starter serum, I would say that this is a pretty good option for you. The next product I'm going to talk about is one of my best friends of all time. It is one of my favorite moisturizers and I use it pretty religiously and I have done for a long time. It is the Museon Multifunction All-in-One Snail Repair Cream. Now I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this moisturizer because it is very, very famous. The thing that's kind of interesting about this cream though, and its like cult status, is that it's not actually particularly popular in South Korea. Its status as a cult favorite is much more with the expat community or Korean communities in other areas of the world, like America. I would still call it a cult favorite though, because it does represent Korean skincare very, very well around the world, and it is a lot of people's favorite product. Now obviously the main ingredient in this product is snail mucin. We've already spoken about the benefits of snail mucin. This particular repair cream contains 92% snail mucin and it retails for approximately $20 for about 2.5 fluid ounces. So that's pretty good price for that amount of cream. I particularly love this moisturizer because it's got a very interesting texture. A lot of people ask me if it's like sticky, if it feels like snail mucin, and the short answer is yes, it kind of does, but not in a really weird way, not as much as you think it would. It's slightly sticky, but it doesn't feel sticky once you've put it on your face. Like I can't even, like, do I hear myself sometimes? Like, do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? Make better choices, Rose. It actually dries really, really well and leaves my skin extremely moisturized and hydrated and refreshed. It's really, really light in texture and it feels light on your skin and it's very non-greasy, so I love using it under makeup, for example. Also because it is such a light moisturizer, I find it's fantastic for both the summer and the winter, and then when you layer on either SPF in the daytime or a sleeping mask at night, it kind of really helps those products work as well. I feel sometimes if I'm going to put like a really thick moisturizer on and then I put a really thick sleeping mask on, then my skin feels a little bit claustrophobic, but with this it's very moisturizing but doesn't feel too heavy on my skin. So this was one of the first creams that I bought when I got into K-beauty, and I've kind of always kept a jar of this around. Like I mentioned, I use it under a lot of other moisturizers as well because it feels like a really light, lovely layer to add to your skincare routine. And because of the high snail mucin content, it does deliver fantastic results. It gets rid of hyperpigmentation, it gets rid of fine lines and wrinkles, it helps to even your skin tone, all of which are issues that I deal with a lot. So last on my list of the ultimate K-beauty cult favorites is a product that is used by everyone. And I mean literally everyone. Teenagers in their early 20s, middle-aged people. I've even seen some kind of ajumas wearing this if they're particularly interested in looking their best on a day-to-day basis. Sassy grandmas. And these are the Causerx Acne Pimple Master Patches. Now, as I say, everybody and their mother wears these patches. If you have a pimple, you stick one on and the pimple is gone within like 12 to 24 hours. They work so well and I cannot explain how many times my life has been saved by one of these tiny little translucent patches. I owe them so much. Now this one's already open, so I'm going to open it for you and you can kind of see. Ooh, I'm extremely strong. So as you can see, I've kind of used a couple of them. They come in this little packet and you have lots of different sizes of patches depending on the size of your pimple. So they're kind of sticky on one side and not sticky on the other. You obviously stick the sticky bit to your face. And it contains a solution that reduces inflammation, reduces redness, and kind of sucks the gross stuff in your blemish out. That sounds really gross, but it's what it does. It also means that the blemish is not going to get worse. You're not going to be touching it. It's not going to get infected and all of those gross things that can lead to like scarring and stuff like that. Now, some people say that you can wear makeup over these. You can't. I mean, certainly I haven't found a way to make them completely invisible on my face. They're not super obvious, I should point that out. They're not obvious, but like you can't cover them. But the really great thing about, especially like in Seoul, for example, it's not that weird to be going around with pimple patches on. Like, people care about their skin, people care about the health of their face. And so if you're doing something like putting on a pimple patch to help soothe and to get rid of a blemish, then people are like, cool, like that's fine. Like, I've gone to work in pimple patches, I don't care. If you're serious about skincare, then you're serious about having a tiny little patch on your skin if it means that your skin is going to become healthier in the future. They are pretty translucent though, they're not like super obvious. Now the great thing about these is that they're so inexpensive. They're like $3-4 for like 24 patches, which is great. And I just have like a whole drawer of like them and sheet masks and love it. Favorite drawer. So yeah, everybody I know wears these. There are other pimple patches, but these are the kind of the OG, these are the ones that are the most famous, and they really have gained kind of this cult status for being the most effective, the cheapest, the ones that people love the most, me included. So that wraps up my list of ultimate K-beauty cult favorites. Part 2. I hope that this has been helpful. If you're just starting out in the kind of K-beauty skincare world and you were like, what are the products that I should buy? Which are the most loved? Which are the ones that I know will definitely work? This is the list that you should be looking at. These are the products that work. These are the products that have been working for a long time and that people keep coming back to. So I'm going to link all of the products down below so you can look at all of the different products yourself. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye!